The Hitchhiker Ghost. Posted by user/Fuxabrian. I've had several strange and scary ghost experiences, but this was the worst one by far. I'm only grateful it was with a group of people, so I know I'm not insane. My 3 friends and I were driving back home from my parents late at night. We'll call them Anna, Johnny, and Ian. It was an 8-hour drive, and halfway into it, Johnny and Ian were asleep in the back seat. I was driving and Anna was shotgun talking to me. We both saw this strange circle of light, an orb, come into the back seat. It was like a beach ball had floated through the window and disappeared. I asked her if she saw it and she said yes, and we kinda laughed it off and agreed to say it was headlights, when it obviously wasn't. We got back into the conversation, and I turned to look at her, only to see a curtain of stringy black hair between us. There was a woman hunched over my console, her hair hanging and covering every other detail of her. I screamed and swerved off the interstate, waking up everyone in the back seat. She was gone when I looked back at Anna. I hysterically tried to explain to Ian and Johnny that we had almost just died because the girl from the rain decided to make an appearance, but they didn't believe me until Anna confirmed she saw her too. We started saying Hail Marys and Our Fathers, whatever I could remember from church. My Siri then picked up from the stand on the dashboard, and with an American female voice, my Siri said to Australian male, said I don't understand what you just said, and proceeded to write out the prayers we'd been saying on a screen. Freaked out, we got off at the next exit and called my mom to pray over the car. She didn't believe me either until Anna confirmed the story. We felt pretty confident after that we would be fine and got back on the road. Ian and Johnny went back to sleep. A hand came around my left side and slowly wrapped its fingers around my arm and squeezed. I screamed and turned to cuss at Ian, but he was half asleep and confused. He couldn't have fit his arm around my seat anyways. It did the same thing to Anna, but she didn't tell me until later. She didn't want to scare me any more than I already was. I was leaned over hugging Anna driving. I could barely reach the steering wheel. But we didn't want it to grab us again. Then Ian wakes up out of a dead sleep screaming his head off. He immediately grabbed his foot and tore off his shoe and sock to reveal human bite marks. We pulled off at another exit and, with 3 girls, threw open the doors and jumped out the car. Then we got into it because Johnny accuses Anna and I of making this all up to scare her, so we looked pretty crazy all outside our car screaming at each other at a random gas station. We realized Ian hadn't even gotten out of the car, and I opened his door and asked if he was okay. He said yeah, I'm fine. Let's get back on the road. We just stared at him, dumbfounded. I said, you just got bitten by a ghost and you're fine? He insisted he felt great and he wanted to get back on the road. We switched the seating arrangements up and I sat in Ian's spot behind the driver while he sat shotgun and Anna drove. I kept my feet off the floorboard for the rest of the trip and kept my eyes on Ian, who stayed awake the rest of the ride. No one spoke of it until the next day. We dropped everyone off, and then went home and I slept in my roommate's bed with her. When we asked Ian about it, he said he had never told us he was fine or that he wanted to get back on the road.